software development lifecycle. So, to start with, let's first understand what's a software. Software is a set of instructions that we are following to achieve a certain goal. So, to achieve a goal, we are following an instructions, and those instructions they actually help us in developing something which can be used by the end users. End users can be anybody in the organization. It can be the set of people who are working internally. It's externally our users is everybody. It can be you, it can be me, and the entire world. Everybody in this world is a end user for something or another. So, software development life cycle, it's a key cycle which is used irrespective of whatever you are developing. Anything that you are seeing in market, be it any hardware, any software, or anything that's there, that has gone through a set of cycle. It has its own cycle before it's out for the end users, be it you, me, or anybody in the world who is buying, be it actually a cycle, be it a laptop or any machinery that is there. So it goes through a certain set of phases before it's actually used by anybody. So that is why that's a very important and key process that needs to be followed. And what happens with this is we plan what is required. So it's kind of a cycle. Cycle, as you know, what is it? It's a circular thing which keeps happening. If you are riding the cycle, if for example, if I explain you in a very simple way, you start riding a cycle and you reach your destination. When you are starting, that is your planning, that you're planning that you need to go somewhere. And once deploying, if you see deploying is that you have reached your destination and it's completed. So whatever you are doing in between, that's a process you are following to reach your goal. So that's a cycle which keeps happening till the time you have reached your actual goal. So you plan, you create, you test, and you deploy. Any information system, be it any hardware, software, or anything else that's in around us. So we have certain set of steps that are followed when we are doing any development of a software. First is gathering requirements. Gathering requirements is, for example, if I want to make a cycle. So I'll first gather the requirements. What are the important things that I want? If I want to um, make a cycle, I would need hardware. I would need certain lot of different kind of hardwares. I would need. I would need the engineers, relevant engineers who are into that domain. So these are all the kind of certain requirements that I want. So we need what requirements means, what exactly is required. Secondly is design. Once you have the requirements, you design that okay, based on this requirements, we are supposed to have something like this. It's a very high level picture of the output that you would be wanting. So you design a solution based on the requirements that you gather. And then once you have a design, then you start working on it that yes, let's do it. Let's develop it. So the development, as in if we talk in context to the softwares, the development is the development team, IT team. It can be the developers, testers, or everybody who is involved in the making of a software. So they come into picture and they start working as a development team. Once it's done, we do test the software, and once it's tested, it's deployed. Deployed means it's made live, and anybody who has actually asked for the specific software, we would say the business client or the stakeholders. That is what is the industry language for the people who are actually uh, coming with certain set of requirements. So that is deployed for the end users, and maintenance is what happens after end users start using. If they face any kind of issue, that is the part of the maintenance. So that is the SDLC cycle, in which we are it goes through certain set of um, areas before it can actually be used and it can actually be live. For this, we have certain methodologies which we can use, like waterfall model, spiral model, incremental model, prototyping, and agile. So to start with, waterfall model was the model which was very primitive model and very much used for very long projects. But now, as and when we have more technology, more models coming up in the market, and every day we have something new coming up, based on that it's very less used. But still, for the projects which are very lengthy and are supposed to take years for development, they are still following the waterfall model. But as of now, the most actively used model is agile, and we will be discussing in details with the industry examples about the agile model, which will make it very clear to you in the coming videos. So these are the set of models. Now, the very important question is, which methodology is the best? Now, out of these methodologies, which one is the best? Because as I told you that waterfall has its own pros and it has its cons, that it's very lengthy and you actually forget certain set of things in that lengthy model. And agile is having its own pros and its own cons. So which is the best? That's not very easy to be told by anybody. But yes, we can definitely tell one thing, that in SDLC, which phase is most important? So, talking about the most important phase of SDLC, it's the gathering of the requirements, wherein you are actually sitting. It can be business analyst who is actually sitting with the business stakeholders and is trying to understand that what is their need, what is it that they want to create. So, and in that case, as I have told in my previous video as well, in that case, business analyst is performing a very key role. And for performing that key role, he should have very good knowledge about the business. So because he will have good knowledge about the business, when they are getting into these kind of meetings to gather the requirements, do the he can actually help them with the enhancement of the requirements. Maybe some things they are missing, and he can do the value add. So that is how we are having BA part of SDLC, and he is integral part of each phase of SDLC. So going forward, we will be under